Sunset wheelie.
Oh,
Point it that way.
Okay, I don't want to. You're having a little too much fun here, Rob. Uh-oh.
What?
I know where the water is coming from.
Where?
The boat's leaking.
Where?
Right there.
Welcome back, boys. My name's Rob, this is Sarah, and this is Merc Mondays. So in this episode, we're going to be doing some troubleshooting on this 150 horsepower Mercury XR2 Black Max. We are going to find some more problems with the hull itself.
Holes. That's what you want.
And we're going to do some wheelies. We got this boat for 500 bucks and we've been trying to dial it in. So this is a 1981 Cee Bee Avenger. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, click up here. A big clue into what's going on with this thing is we didn't have a working water pressure gauge. So I'm going to show you how to fix that, pull the thermostats, and then we're going to go for a rip and see what happens. I am trying to figure out why this thing is overheating. And the first thing I want to do is I want to get the water pressure gauge working because that's going to help me diagnose all the issues I'm having with this thing. Some people said the water pressure gauge tap should be near the thermostats. These are the thermostats right up here. There's one on each head. One here, and one here. I do see a brown wire on this head. So this is going to be your temp gauge right here. This is the temp sensor. So there's two kinds of water pressure gauges. One of them is electrical. The mechanical one is going to push pressure to the back of the gauge itself. The electrical one is going to be like a different resistance or whatever. So I was looking around on the top of this motor. Right here, I believe this is my water pressure gauge. Because you can see that this is not a wire. This is thin tubing. Goes in here. You can still see it and still see it and still see it. And then oh, it ends. I think I found why my water pressure gauge is not working. The automotive parts store will have a mechanical gauge kit. That only has 6 feet of line. What you want to do is buy this. Part number AK29. This is a line kit for air shocks. This is like 25 bucks. I guess Mercury wants like 50 or 60 bucks for a decent roll of this hose, so this is the way to go. And you get a bunch of fittings that you can throw in your hardware box and never use again. Alright, so the hose is not quite long enough. It ends pretty much where the splash well ends, but there's a whole other hose for the other air shock. So we're just going to connect them using this T-fitting. And I just jammed a whole bunch of silicone in there and threaded this on here, let that cure. So now we're just going to use it as a union and run the rest of the gauge, and hopefully we will have a working water pressure gauge. I'm not going to film this because it's not that exciting and you can just imagine it, okay? Alright, before we go out, the other thing I want to do is I want to rip out the thermostats. We're just going to run without them, see what happens. Because these thermostats might not be good. I did get some new ones, but we're just going to try no thermostats first. Well, they do look pretty gross. But, I mean, they're not too bad. They're not too corroded. I don't know. Let's see what happens when we don't run any of them.
Okay, hang on. You gotta squeeze the thing. You gotta prime it.
Oh yeah.
We always forget that.
Squeeze it before you run it hard.
Exactly.
Alright. So I learned something. That these carburetors do not have accelerator pumps. So when I do this to try to start it, it's literally just moving the throttle plates. It's not actually injecting any gas.
Interesting.
The only thing that's doing it is this.
That's why they said that push the key in and turn it, because that does a function.
Yep. So what I do think helps though is if you give it a little throttle. So we're just gonna like do that, but we're gonna push it in again.
Look
Look at that, 15 PSI. That's pretty amazing. I like that. I like working gauges. That's pretty neat.
It's peeing too. It's actually, I feel like it's peeing pretty intensely. That's a little bit better stream than I think we even had last time.
It's because there's no thermostats.
Oh, so it's just.
All right, we're gonna see what happens with this temp. And Sarah's actually gonna film the boat when we get on plane back there to see what the gear case is doing.
Oh, is she?
Yep.
Okay, she is. Okay, Rob, okay. Wah, wah, wah.
Of course.
I got it, he says. I got it.
God damn it.
Here, there you go.
So it looks like we got 12 PSI at 1,000 RPM. And no temps yet. Our temps honestly might be a little low today just because no thermostat.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. I don't hear any beeping and I see plenty of smoke back there. So in my opinion, the oil injection is working.
I'll try not to drop it in the water. I can't promise anything. You didn't trip?
No, I do have really high water pressure, 30 PSI. Look what's happening to our temps.
I bet the internet knows that.
It's still peeing really hard.
It is. Hey internet, know that and tell us please. What's it supposed to be while it's just running at regular, you know, intensity? Okay.
All right, so you're gonna hold it here. What I wanna see, honestly, like this would be even better, but I don't, if it jiggles around, it's bad. So like, you wanna like, hold it with two hands, Sarah, and grip it really hard.
Just see what happens as it jiggles. God damn it.
You might get sprayed.
Why do I hang out with you? Why? Why do I hang out with you, Robert? There she goes.
That temp is just going up and up and up and up and up. We got over 3/4 on this temp gauge.
That's not what you want.
Could you see all the holes?
Honey, for me, I couldn't see anything.
All right, we're gonna review.
Wait, hang on. Probably an unhelpful camera angle, but whatever. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, babes. Hello. Stop now. Thank you. Jesus Christ, Rob almost threw me out of the boat. Just saying. Hello. We have not had any alarms.
We have not?
Which by now on a couple of runs you have, so.
Yeah, but I was usually giving her too. I wasn't giving her.
Well, still.
Oh.
It's not up.
It's true. We got a gauge working, no alarms. Take it. Let's cheers.
Okay, so.
We've been sitting here like 15 minutes doing nothing. And when I turn the key now,
all right, yes. So we have literally just been floating and chatting and doing nothing and had no beeps before this. And then we went to start it and all of a sudden, beep, 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 beep. There it is. Yeah, that beep.
hey Sarah, are we clear as to which holes we're trying to film in this home video?
Shut up, Rob. I'm not doing that. Ready? Yeah, those pickups are underwater. Sorry, I don't know if the camera showed it, but I saw it with my own eyes twice now. Those pickups are all well underwater, unfortunately. That would be a nice fix, but...
Sunset wheelie.
Oh,
Point it that way.
Okay, I don't want. Hey. now. I don't want to wheelie it. You're having a little too much fun here, bro. God damn. It literally lost my hand. I found it.
Alright, we have brand new thermostats this time. So yesterday we were still overheating when it was on plane. That could be because the water is moving too fast through the block and it didn't spend enough time in there to get the thermal transfer. So with the new thermostats, maybe it'll be better. I kind of doubt it. We'll find out. We're waiting on someone with a Volvo Penta, the huge. So slow. Alright, we didn't get it on camera, but I actually left the dock without killing it first time. We have thermostats and we have half temperature. And we have 12 PSI. I don't know if that's high or low. Let's go for a little rip.
Although not beeping.
Not yet. It will if I keep going.
Okay. That makes you happy.
I think we can get higher.
Okay, that's enough now. No, we're gonna. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're done doing that now, Rob. Thank you. That's enough of that. We're good.
Sarah had a good idea.
I have a couple. He brought this along, which is like a heat gun, and the thought was
frickin' lasers, boys.
sharks with friggin' laser beams. You would verify whether or not that temp sensor was accurate by checking, and then also we could point it at each cylinder head and see if we can isolate the problem.
Because this thing is still not happy. I've given it so many things. Given it thermostats, poppets, water pumps. It's still too hot.
All his ladies are trouble and demanding, I guess. I don't know, man.
Yep. There's that curve of hotness and
oh my god. I'm shooting you with lasers. You ready?
Let's do it. So we're gonna do a speed run and try not to blow it up, and then we're gonna measure the cylinder head temps because Sarah's smart.
Bon voyage. He really enjoys doing that a little too much. Jesus Christ. Time to find out how hot she is?
We're gonna undress her first.
Oh boy, okay, yes. We'll take her top off and check her out.
You have to reach up and it's like an inch in on the front wall. Right.
Who wants to smack him? Should I? Okay.
149, 152, 146, 149, 152, 148. Maybe we can try hitting it from the backside because because I don't know if it's getting all the heat.
This is just gonna keep happening with the...
Yeah, 148, 147. I mean, it's cooling down. That doesn't seem that hot though, because I'm pretty sure overheating is technically like 240 degrees. So, I don't know. I guess that beeping tone is not overheating, but the gauge says that it's getting hot. So does that mean the gauge is full of crap?
Maybe.
Well, I don't know. New water pump, new poppet, new thermostats.
Newish poppet.
Yeah, it's not totally the right one. I think we're gonna get the right one tomorrow though.
Good. It's interesting that it wasn't. It's interesting that it wasn't like overly hot. Although I guess you didn't really run it that long, but it was alarming, right?
Yeah. Your boobs are 92.3 degrees. Your butt is 87 degrees.
Okay, that's enough.
This is fun.
That's enough of that now.
All right, just kick, push, and then like a fish.
Just flop in the boat like a seal. Very graceful. Look at me.
Actually, there's one thing we haven't tried yet. They said just let it idle with the cap unscrewed on the reservoir on the engine.
Oh, that maybe there's like a suction problem in the tubing?
Yeah, you want to try it quick?
Sure.
I mean, I see a ton of oil in there. I don't know. We gotta do one thing before we go though. See, there's all these people here.
Okay, he wants to do a wheelie at the people on the beach, basically.
They gotta be like, whoa, that guy's so awesome.
Okay,
we're on land.
That's totally what they'll say. Completely. All right, here. Does it make you happy? Do it up. I'll hold on to my handle. They're so impressed. I can tell. They're cheering. Actually, you just can't hear them from here. They're just.
If it can't go fast, it can at least do wheelies.
Yes.
I don't know why it porpoises so much either. I'm trimmed all the way down. The only way to get it to stop is that eventually it'll get smaller and smaller, or you hit it.
Oh my god.
And it will like kind of straighten out.
That's enough. We're good. We're good. Thank you.
The poppet kit that is sold everywhere online, this kit does not work with this engine. It sort of does, but I'm going to show you what the difference is. The spring is a little different. It comes with a metal washer that you don't need. The gaskets all are this dog bone shape, okay? But if you look at your motor, what you're going to see is a 2-bolt poppet valve. So the cover is not shaped like this dog bone. It's just one circle with 2 bolts on each side. That is called the older style poppet valve. And they updated this part. Here's the main problem I'm seeing. The poppets themselves, the diaphragms, are completely different. So the right poppet you need, the older one, the 2-bolt style, is 64877. Here's the difference between the two poppets. Same size, pretty much, but when you get to the edges, they're totally different. See how this one is a lot thicker? See how this one is a lot thinner? This is what I have in my motor right now, and it keeps overheating. And I'm hoping that when I change it to this softer diaphragm that is going to seal better, as well as has like a thinner membrane, it's just going to be easier to move. What we're going to do is we're going to pull mine apart, throw in the new diaphragm, and then see if we can get on the lake again and see if it fixes the problem. So when you install this, make sure you're holding on to this plastic piece right here while you're torquing this screw right here. You want to get this all the way bottomed out, otherwise that distance is going to be wrong and this isn't going to function as intended. The other thing that I think is interesting, I just installed this a few days ago, but the inner gasket kind of blew out. You can see it it just popped out of the plate here. So I'm going to try to glue that back down with some silicone because the rest of these gaskets are in pretty good shape. But yeah, it's a little tricky to install. We're gonna just throw some silicone on it and hope for the best. I'm going to show you how to test the oil injection system on your Mercury 2-stroke V6. Now this is a 1986 150 horsepower XR2. Yours might be a little different, but basically the super short version is we're going to disconnect the fuel line from the fuel tank of the boat, hook it up to a small container of premix 2-stroke fuel, and then we are going to disconnect the oil pump and run the engine on muffs and see if while the engine is running on premix, if the oil pump is pumping. I've been struggling trying to figure out why this thing keeps beeping at me. The oil reservoir itself is full. I have checked the cap, it's pretty tight. The sensor could be bad. We're going to find that out on the water. If it starts beeping again, I'm going to be disconnecting it. Right now, all I want to do is verify the oil injection system is working. I'm pretty sure it is working because whenever you start this thing, it's pretty smoky, so this is just more of a gut check before we go out and rip on this thing again. Basically, just going to unscrew this. Have the fuel line run into the little chainsaw tank here. So we're going to go right over here to the oil pump right here, and we're going to disconnect this line. I think this is the best way to do it because this does not look like you can take this apart. This is from the fuel. This one goes to the carbs, so I mean I guess you could take these zip ties off, but I'm just going to let it dribble all over here anyway because it's already gross, so I don't think it matters. But the point is, we're going to try to run it on premix and see if this is pumping oil. Alright, so we definitely know the oil injection system is pumping oil. You can see as soon as I started the engine, it started drip, drip, dripping right here. So we're going to go ahead and hook this back up. That beeping that I'm getting for the oil alarm, it either means this sensor right here detects the oil pump stops running, which is not true because it is pumping oil, so the gear is good on that little oil pump shaft. It could be this sensor right here, which is the oil level on the reservoir tank. That thing gets twisted like crazy. I definitely understand why it fails pretty often. So if we get that beeping on the water, we're going to go ahead and unplug some of these. The other thing it could be is the alarm box itself. Now these are a known high failure rate part, and they just get stupid and start making alarms when there aren't any. That's also a potential. So I think with verifying that the oil injection is working, we have the correct poppet in it. Now we're going to go take it for a rip and see if it starts yelling at me again. Hopefully it won't be overheating too, because the overheating thing, that could be a bunch of other things, but at least now I know that it's not running lean, it's not running crazy hot. There's something still going on with the cooling system in this engine, but it's not fuel related. So let's pitter patter.
What? I know where the water is coming from.
Where?
The boat's leaking.
Where?
Right there. See it? Where?
Oh, I see it.
There's literally water coming in through a crack of some kind.
Okay, well we're just going to run it quick and then see if we fixed it.
Okay.
So Sarah found some water coming in the boat.
Just found an actual leak in the boat, which
That's how we got all the water in it yesterday. We have a steady telltale. The water pressure right now is like 12 psi. I don't know what's up with that. You hear it snort?
Yeah. Could that be from the new poppet?
I don't know. We're gonna give it some gas and see if it starts overheating. So Sarah noticed a bunch of water coming in on this side of the boat right here. Why don't you show what's under the hull?
There's, I don't know if you can see it from under here. There's some holes.
So I think somebody tried to mount the battery with some screws that were too long. So I think we have to figure out how to get the water out of here and fill those holes. The holes should be an easy fix, but yeah, it's definitely filling with water.
Yeah, what was interesting is you could see it coming in. There's like several spots where water was just actually dripping, although it seems like those are around a screw there too. So maybe there's something about the foam back here that was holding it and it was dripping in through.
Yeah, I think the foam was getting waterlogged.
Yeah.
Fun.
Good times.
All right, so we have done a ton to this thing in the past week, but unfortunately we're not really any better than where we started. That's kind of the nature of the beasts with project boats, but you know what? We got back under our own power every time, so we got that going for us.
That is big,
nice.
Yeah, that's always a plus. And it was beautiful. We had a lot of beautiful days on the water, so there's that.
Great sunsets. Not today. Early September and 65 degrees, and we went boating mainly for you guys for this series. It was not very enjoyable.
Nor successful, but hey, you know.
So at this point, I don't really know what's going on with this thing. I mean, it seems like the water pressure is too high. I now have the correct poppet. We have brand new thermostats. We have brand new water pump. I don't know what could be causing that really high water pressure other than maybe a blockage of some kind. Like if someone did not change the water pump until it shredded, a piece of that rubber vein from the pump itself could be clogged in the power head somewhere.
Which we didn't really see any evidence of that when we changed the water pump. Like the impeller was a little chewed up, but no big chunks, but I guess who knows what happened before that one was changed, right?
Yeah, another comment said that because I found some sand in the poppet area, that there could be a bunch of mud and stuff in the power head, and I'm not really sure how to check that. I was talking to a non-boater, and he said, hey, can you hook up a hose to the thermostats and back flush the block? Like to remove any blockages. I think that's an interesting idea, but I don't really know how to do that either. And then on top of that, in our last run, it was down on power, and I don't know what's causing that yet either. Also taking on water from the hull. Yeah, we'll fix those holes pretty quick. That should be an easy fix.
It's just not what you want as you're the passenger on a boat to look over and go, oh, well, that's a steady stream of water coming in right there.
Yeah, and now we have completely waterlogged foam, and I don't really know how to get the moisture out of it either. Right now, we're going to leave the holes in the bottom of the boat and hope that things drain out. Someone definitely used some screws that were way too long to try to install a battery holder. Man, the DNR wants you to strap down your batteries. Well, this is what can happen. This is why these rules and their harassment is just, what did we call it? Two-stroke profiling. You know, if they had just left us alone, but they're busting us for these small crimes just because of the color of our outboard, and they really need to, you know, work for the population, not against them.
All right. So next time,
hopefully, we will have the holes fixed in the hull. What else?
We have an interior coming that a friend found for us at a swap meet that I'm really excited about.
Yeah, originally we were going to build a set of seats for this thing, but one of my buddies, the same person who found us this boat, thank you for making me spend more money, found a complete set of interior here that is red, orange, and yellow, so that's going to look awesome.
And then I don't have to do all of the work.
Yeah, and then we will at least have a nice place to sit as the boat sinks and doesn't run and overheats.
Or when we're being towed back by the cops again, you know, it's good. It's important.
So if anyone has any suggestions, again, she doesn't know what she's doing. I don't really know what I'm doing. So please leave a comment below if you think you can help us out. I'd really like this thing to see 60 miles an hour before fall, and it is rapidly approaching. I'm literally watching leaves drop from the trees right now. So
well, I would settle for it to just reliably and enjoyably get us around the lake at any speed.
it's reliably sinking and overheating.
Those are not the things I would like to reliably be experiencing. I don't know.
All right, stay tuned until next time. Cheers, dudes.